just to have some extras. So we, even though we had the big conjunction and we had a special solstice class, we have started into Capricorn cycle, and Capricorn energy is that of like persistence and like that steadiness and strength, right? Resolve. And so we're going to work with that. Kind of similar to the class we did. I don't know what day it was, but Guido is the one that you said I like doing all those poses. So we're going to take a lot of those traditional poses that that can be up leveled, right? So like triangle, revolve triangle, some balance shapes, and the traditional, like, you know, warrior 2 and warrior 1 and side angle. And we're going to consistently do those. So it'll be kind of like a base sequence that has a lot of room to add on. So like adding binds or adding, you know, arm binds, or kind of changing it up. So I want that to let you kind of choose a challenge. So like maybe maybe you've always wanted to really up level your revolve triangle and you want to do a bind with it, or maybe you've always wanted to try a bind in half moon, or maybe you just want to really get solid and strong in those base shapes. So we'll kind of have like a base sequence that we work around from, and then we'll be changing up with the warm up and things like that. And then I also want you to choose an inversion that you want to work on. So maybe it's like forearm stand. So that's a kind of like a forearm plank that you balance, or maybe it's handstand. I traditionally do handstand in Capricorn time. That can be something that you do. Could be headstand again, but choose an inversion, and I want you to work on that every week. So what I'm hoping you'll feel during this cycle is getting stronger, like is being able to take something and play around with making it more challenging and kind of upping your challenge or upping your ante, right? Because that's kind of what this time's about, is like getting stronger, trusting ourselves, like putting in the good work of the stuff that's meaningful. So that's kind of what I thought we'd do. And I don't know, I the other day was like doing a side angle and found something new, right? So there's always new stuff in these shapes that we do a lot if we're like curious. So don't let the repetition cause you to kind of check out or to kind of get bored, but more let it inspire you to go deeper. Like, where can you go deeper? And maybe it's just your breath, or maybe it's adding something, or maybe it's just the presence that you bring. So we're going to work on that for the next little bit. So we'll bring that forward today. So I'm so glad that you're here. So welcome yourself in and find a comfortable seat. Take some deep breaths and really awaken into this moment. Whatever this moment holds for you, whatever this holiday season holds for you. Right? Probably a unique holiday for all of us. So just kind of taking in your engagement with life, your engagement with this moment. Kind of noticing what you bring to the mat this morning, and reminding yourself that you can bring it all here, every little bit. Even at times, bad moods or less than stellar attitudes, you can bring those too. And you can also bring your joy and your excitement and your gratitude, right? We can make space for all those things. So take 5 deep breaths, and we'll take a deep breath in, and I want you to really feel the length of your spine as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, we'll take an open mouth sigh, just kind of a grounding into the sitting bones. So that nice deep breath in. Get nice and tall, and then exhale, sitting down and deep into your sitting bones. And then do that 3 more times. Getting solid. Getting stable. And then one more. Hold at the top of this inhale. Get as tall as you can. Reach from the crown of your head out of those sitting bones. Feel your spine lengthen. And then nice, strong exhale as you root. And then bring your hands together and fold your head towards your heart, towards your hands, and make an offering for this practice. So with these practices, we're going to generate a lot of vitality, a lot of strength, right? A lot of vigor. And so feel free to send that vigor to someone who may not be feeling very vital right now, who this holiday season might be really difficult too. So feel free to offer your gifts, your activity towards that, or maybe you're offering towards something else or something personal that you want to create. Take a moment or two just to bring that in. And then stretch up, reach up, maybe you look up, take a deep breath, breathe that intention in through your spine. And then exhale, press it out and away, sending it out with trust and faith and gratitude. And so just as we did that breath work, I want you to focus on those two things today. So as much length as you can get in all these postures, really feel as much as you can that lengthening through your whole spine, through the sides of your neck. And I also want you to feel in those exhales that deep grounding through your feet. So really feel how the feet anchor you down and how the spine lifts you up. And we'll kind of continue that as we move through all of these shapes, okay? So I'm gonna move my prop and we're gonna come right into downward facing dog. So, oh, and I forgot to let you spray yourself. So if you wanna do that real quickly, go ahead and do that one. Something nice and sensual to get you going, because we're gonna get going. So I'm gonna give myself a little something. And then as you're ready, friends, come right into down dog. Pedal if you want, lift and lower the heels, do all those nice things that help you wake up your body. And right away, start feeling every inhale, stretching your spine, and every exhale, rooting. So you might be rooting through the palms or rooting through the heels. And just for a moment, let's all bend our knees a little bit to traction the low back nice and long with the head drop. Feel your navel pull back and the front body draw towards the back. And then lift your heels nice and high. Keep your hips moving back. Feel that length. And on the exhale, drop the heels. 3 more times. Lift the heels without rocking forward. Lower the heels. Exhale. Inhale, lift the heels. Pull your navel towards your thighs. And then exhale. And then one more time. And exhale. We're going to come towards a side plank with a twist. You're going to come forward into plank first, just kind of warming up through the core. If you need to put your knees down, please do. Splay your hands. Pull your front body towards your back body, even your thigh bones, and lengthen on your inhale. And on your exhale, press through toes and hands. Lengthen on your inhale. And on the exhale, press away from the earth and feel that rooting energy through palms and toes. Take one more. And then press to downward dog. So as we move through this little flow, we're going to turn and we'll do side plank on the right. We've done this before, and you're welcome to stagger. And then we'll do side plank on the left. Really getting long. And then we're going to take the hands forward, and then we'll walk the feet to the hands. Top of the mat. This is your first forward fold, so feel free to bend the knees generously, shake the head out. You can bend and straighten each leg, just waking up into the low back. And then we'll come to a halfway lift, and then a forward fold. And then bend those knees and roll up nice and slow. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Really getting those shoulders awake, and you can roll them forward. And then we'll sweep those arms up. Stretch long, inhale, get long. And on the exhale, root through your feet as you circle, sweep the hands down to the floor. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank on your exhale, any way you can. Hold for a breath in plank, just to feel that inhale lengthen, and the exhale press down, downward facing dog. Then we're going to side plank right, side plank left. So take your time. If you want to stagger your feet, please do that, and take a breath in each. Feeling those hips twist, feeling the spine lengthen. And then come to plank, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands to your feet. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. This time come back to halfway lift, hands at your waist. Press through your feet to come all the way up to standing. And then arms sweep up. Long spine inhale, and on the exhale, circle sweep your hands as you come down and forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward on the exhale, walk out to plank pose. Take a breath here, and we're gonna add on here. So we're gonna come forward, you can drop to your knees, chaturanga to your belly. We'll come to cobra, take your time pressing through the palms, and then inhale, lengthen. As exhale, press through hands and feet. And then slowly come back down. You can press through all fours or through plank. Downward dog. Side plank right, side plank left. Your choice. Which one you do first. You can even go arm over head if that feels good. Just make sure you stay for a breath or two. Just enough to really feel that spine lengthening. You can always have your knees down. Okay, press to downward facing dog when you're finished. And then walk your feet nice and slowly to your hands, taking your time. And then this time we're going to bend the knees, chair pose. That's your inhale. And then your exhale is a forward fold. You can stick your tongue out. Sweep your arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You have 5 more. So I'm keeping my knees bent and moving my torso. Long. You can stick your tongue out to really shift some energy. And on this one, get long, hold. If you want to bind your arms, you can. Otherwise, your arms can just reach back and fold. So if you don't want to bind, you don't have to, but just take an extra beat here. Nice deep breaths. And then releasing the hands down. Take a halfway lift. And then stay kind of halfway lift, step your right leg back to a lunge. Okay, so just first time lunging, pull the outer left hip back. If you want blocks, you can have blocks. But keep that length from crown to heel. And as you ground, press through the left heel, lift through the right thigh as you press the right ball down. And then come to like a bent knee, warrior 3. And then come back down. And then come to a warrior 3 where you straighten the left leg and then bring your right knee in. Take your left hand to the side of the body and then open through the right thigh, keeping your hip points facing forward, and then bring the right thigh forward, switch the hands and open for a twist. And so not holding too much. Come back to that knee lift and then come back to that lunge. Okay, we're going to take a quarter turn to the right, and we're just going to bend and straighten the legs. So I have my hands on my thighs. I can have my hands out to the side. Just inhale, exhale, warming up the legs. And if you want to have your hands down, you certainly can. But I want you to keep your hips lifted so the spine stays long, so not rounding. So if you can keep the spine long by keeping your hands up or floating, great. For 3. For 2, and then as you're ready, come all the way to face the back of the mat, and you're in that low lunge, that first one we just did. A little bit different. Breathing in, breathing out, and then come to like a halfway lift, a bent knee, lift that leg up. Come back down. Now come to a warrior 3, so hands at the heart, and then pull that left knee in, right arm out to the side. Stand tall, lift your chest, and then open through that left thigh. Bring it back to the center, switch the arm, and then twist. Opening through your chest. Come back to the center, come back to the lunge. Quarter turn to your left, and now you're in a wide leg forward fold. So your toes come forward. Take a moment to lengthen out through your spine. So the crown of the head gets long, and I want to feel that lift of the front body towards the back body. So here are your choices. Either right arm plants, left arm lifts, and we're just going to twist. And this will be a little bit less work for the hamstrings. If you want to use a block, you can. Otherwise, I can come up, and I can reach to one side and come up. And we're going to do that 10 times. Okay, so you decide either hand up and you're just switching, or you come up and down. So inhale, exhale. Really breathe. Last two. Take a deep breath in, and then we'll turn to original front of the mat, which your right leg was back. Put that right knee down and lift up. Big breath in. And on your exhale, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Here's your vinyasa. One movement, one breath. Take your time. Chaturanga to your belly. Cobra pose. And then downward facing dog. We'll do side plank right, side plank left. So if you want to walk the right arm forward, just a little bit. And then we'll come to plank, to downward dog, and walk your hands to your feet, forward fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. So this time we're going to stand tall, inhale, and then your exhale, you go a little squat. Inhale, and you can lower your arms. Exhale 10 times. You can go a little lower each time. Make sure that your hips move back, so not knees forward, okay? Three more. And now this one, sink down and hold. Feel your spine lengthen. If you want your hands at your heart, please do that. But feel, again, pressing down, pressing apart with the feet, and then a rooting through your inner thigh line. Spine is long. Stay and breathe. And then take your arms out to the side, and then place them in your back hip pockets to open your chest. So shoulders on your back, elbows down, lift your heart up. And then trace the back of your thighs, fold forward. Walk your hands out to plank pose. Take one more vinyasa, so chaturanga, cobra, or anything else you want. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, we're going to step that right leg forward, and we're in that lunge, that original lunge. So for a moment here, sweep your arms back so you open your chest. Come to that bent knee, so just kind of tap and then come down. And then come all the way up, Digasana or Warrior 3 with your airplane arms. And then bring that knee in, hold on to it, proud chest. Take your thigh and arm out. So you have nice and tall, a little longer this time to open through the left inner thigh. And then bring that leg across your body and twist. So that left leg is on the midline. You're standing up nice and tall and revolving your body. Come back to the center, let go of your left knee with your hand, and then step it back, high lunge. Arms reach up. And then open up horse stance. Go ahead and bend those knees. And then once again, you can either come up and down if that feels good, or if you want to go side to side, you can feel good, or you can even alternate kind of a twist here, which is nice for the low back. So I'll show you all those. I can go here. I can be coming up and down. If I like to the side, I can do that. Just 10 times, so not very much. Just want to really get the body nice and warm for all these shapes. And remember our focus, lengthening on inhale, grounding on exhale, really using the breath. And then you're going to turn to face the back of the mat. Make sure it's the opposite side, should be. And then we'll take those arms back. Feels like it's the same leg. Hopefully it's not. Make sure you're on the second side. And then just tap the leg up. And then come back down. And then big stance, Warrior 3. Make sure this is opposite leg. I feel like somehow it feels different for me. Bring that knee in. Open it up. Hold for an extra beat. And then bring it to the front, open it up for a twist. Come to the center, release your leg, step it back, high lunge. And then as you're ready, open it up, so straighten the legs parallel, you're in your wide leg fold, and then hinge forward. And so for here, we're gonna go tip toes. We'll take a deep breath, inhale, lengthen. And you can either bend the knees again, you can go side to side. If you liked the twist, do the twist again. Right, lots of options. Or you can just come in and out of that halfway lift 10 times with your breath. Okay, after you finish, walk towards the original front of your mat, come into plank pose. Go to downward facing dog, and then we'll side plank right and left. So take your time. At least a breath on each side. Get really long. And then downward facing dog. Right leg forward, left knee down. Just one breath in that low lunge. Should be the second side, and then hands to the floor, forward fold. Halfway lift, and then forward fold, and then arms all the way up to standing, hands to the heart. So we'll kind of start the sequence now, so hopefully you feel nice and warm. So I'm gonna have you have a block right outside your right foot. If you don't have a block, then grab onto your shin, or you can put up a book, or anything else that can be steady. So on the inhale, we're gonna take a nice deep breath and reach up. And on the exhale, we're gonna forward fold. We're gonna come to a halfway lift, and then a forward fold again. And then we're gonna step that left leg back to a short warrior one stance, or a short warrior two stance, sorry. Right arm is gonna come forward, right leg is forward, and we're gonna peel up, hand to waist first. Okay, so I want you to find a strong rooted right leg. So breathing through that right inner thigh line to secure that line from the pelvis. And then a lift up as you inhale from the floor towards your hip. Then as you reach from that right hip, reach into the left and stretch your left leg out. Make sure that left leg is lit up. Left arm can come up or stay at your waist. Okay, make sure your right knee and your right big toe are in the same line. You can bend the right knee if the hamstring feels tight. Okay, lengthen, pull your tailbone forward. Keep lengthening that right side waist. You have 3 more breaths. Make it really steady. You can gaze at the floor. But bring your front body towards your back body for 2. Listen to the exit. Take your left hand to your waist and then lower that left leg slowly and come into triangle pose. So I already have the legs, but now I have to work the rotation. So I want to keep the side body long, keep my legs solid, and then float that left arm up. So if I'm too low, I might have to come up. Because remember, we're not trying to sacrifice anything to get to the floor. We want to find length. So again, that pubic bone and that tailbone come towards one another. Right side body lengthens, left side body lengthens. Front body rests into the back of your spine. And as I bring that right hip under, my left hip needs to get nice and strong as I press the floor away. And you, once again, here, you have 3 breaths. Feel into the shape, feel into the core that's rotating while the hips stabilize. Take 1 more breath. And then bend that right knee and come into your warrior 2. And for this warrior 2, if you want to do any different arms, like eagle arms or bound arms, feel free. Even just flipping the palms can be nice. Stretch evenly through both of the arms if you're in traditional arms. Make sure your pelvis is somewhat level, even though it might be turned, so that your left hip is slightly forward. Can you deepen your lunge? Can you breathe down into your feet and legs on the exhale? And on the inhale, get a little lighter and taller. And 3 more breaths here. One more. And then we'll cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Take your time. You can either rest in down dog if you prefer, or you can move your way through a vinyasa. So your choice. Take your time. You want upward dog, please take it. Taking lots of time to keep the breath being that way to create that balance and groundedness. And then we'll steady into our downward facing dog. Pause for a moment and reset from all those shapes. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. We're going to step that right leg forward and come into side angle from the ground up. So go ahead and go heel to arch. I'm going to set up a block outside my foot. So I'm going to come up more like a warrior three. So then I angle my chest down and my left hip to the left. Pull right hip back and lengthen. Then I'm going to take my arm down and forward thumb up. Now I'm just going to rotate my spine. And I'm going to press away from the floor with my feet. If you need to have your arm up, that's totally fine. Now, can you bring, again, that right sitting bone towards your left heel so that you give them a lot more space in your right side body? Lengthen, lengthen. As you press the left foot away, the left arm gets nice and tall. Take 3 more giant breaths. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, press the floor away. And on the exhale, come into that low lunge we started with. If you want to put the back knee down for a breath, you can. Your choice. And then we'll come into downward facing, to forward fold. And we're going to stay in this forward fold for a moment. So it can just be a natural bent knee hanging over. Or go ahead and loop your peace fingers around your big toes. Press down with that big toe bone. Lengthen up through your spine. And you can have bent knees for this. And as your low belly and upper thighs start to get a little closer, traction your elbows and shoulders apart to allow you to deepen into the fold to whatever degree you can. So it's totally fine to have bent knees. Try to let the shoulders widen and move away from your ears so the neck hangs long. 3 more breaths. Get slow and steady. Unloop your fingers and come to a halfway lift, and then hands to the waist all the way up to standing. And then hands to the heart for a moment. Just again, reconnect to purpose, connect to breath. If you've gotten distracted or frustrated, any of the poses, again, just returning to that breath and that intention. Sometimes it can help us. Like, why are we doing this, right? So that we don't get too vested in the outcome. But more of the exploration and the curiosity. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale, arms come up. On the exhale, forward fold. Make sure if your block's not over towards your left foot, go ahead and set it there. Halfway lift. And then fold. And then step your right leg back to a short warrior two stance. So my left knee will be bent, my right leg straight. And I'm going to come up, right hand to hip. And then as I'm ready, I'll step into my left heel and foot and then lift that right leg. And I might keep left knee bent just to make sure my knee and my foot are in the same trajectory. So you guys keep building this, and I'm just going to come over and watch since you know what you're doing here. So as you straighten that leg, I want you to feel from your left inner thigh all the way down to your foot. That's your stabilizing force. Then bring your tailbone towards your pubic bone. And as you lift energy out of the earth, bring it towards your top leg and out through your foot so that you're like a line of energy, like a straw. If you want your right arm up, you can. Otherwise, keep it at your waist, but keep lifting and turning the chest towards the side. Looks so good, you guys. Really good work with your knees. Awesome. Light up that foot on your top leg, you guys. 2 more big breaths. Really big work. Remember, we land in a triangle. So you're going to bend that left knee, and you're going to land. I'm going to take my block with me. And I might have to readjust the stance, but I'm already in that triangle pose. I just kind of stood back. If you need to come up and back, you can. Check out your feet. And it's the same work of half moon, but we just have a grounded leg now. So tailbone comes forward. I'm bringing my front body towards my back body, and I'm conditioning the spine. So I do bring that front ribs down a bit so that I can lengthen. And just because I turn my chest doesn't mean the hips turn. They stay stable. So keep breathing. And again, if you want your arm over your head, of course, you could do that. We have 3 more really deep breaths. So close your eyes and really feel the lengthening on inhale. And on the exhale, get even stronger through your base. That rootedness as we draw down, and that liftedness as we draw up. And then bend that left knee, and it's warrior 2. And again, you can do eagle arms today if you want, goddess arms, bound arms. So you can always change it up, right? This is your invitation, this whole series, is I'll keep giving you base, and I'll keep offering some invitations to add on, and then you just get to choose. So I want to make sure my pelvis isn't tipped. It is level, but it's not flush to the front. I do have my right hip forward. Deep in the lunge of your front knee and equally press with your back. Both sides of the waist lengthen. I feel a strong lift through my crown, strong reach through my arms. Take 1 more giant deep breath in, and then cartwheel your hands to the floor. Then it's plank pose. You can choose if you'd like a chaturanga, upward dog, cobra, sphinx pose, anything. Otherwise, you could go cat-cow, or just wait in down dog or child's pose. So you choose. Then here's our settling breath. So we get to just go, and really feel yourself settle into breathing, to feeling. So your next shape is left side, side angle from the ground up. So as you're ready, step that left leg forward, seal your back foot flat. I'm gonna take my block either inside my leg or outside. And then once again, let's go hand to the hip. So I am facing chest down, but my left hip is pulled back and towards my right heel. It's not swinging to the left. And as I do this, I wanna feel tailbone forward in long spine. Then I'll let my right arm drop down and forward. Then I'll start to turn the chest, not the hips, friends, the chest turns up. And you'll stop wherever you feel that natural resistance in your body. Yeah, super nice work, you guys. Keep that knee moving away from the big toe line. Awesome, Rachel. Yeah, good work. Can your bottom waist be even longer, you guys? Like, see how you can lengthen even another like centimeter by just that breathing. Okay, let's take 2 more really giant breaths in. Get even longer, like if you could get those intercostal muscles on the side of the lungs to get a little bit more space for us to breathe into. And then exhale it down if you want to put your knee down, otherwise you can just come to a lunge for a full breath in, a full breath out. Then hands to the floor, forward fold. So you can keep this easy breezy, just bent knees and fold, or you can step on your hands. And if I step on my hands, I want to step so that my toes and my wrist crease touch. And I want to bend the knees so that I can send the weight towards my toes. And as I do that and I step on my hands resist just slightly and I get this nice little wrist release. So once again, take a deep breath and let the pelvis tip forward, so you might be bending your knees. And then widen those elbows just a bit to broaden the upper back. Head is super heavy, you guys. Breathe and surrender. Letting that low back get lots of stretch. Okay, and then as you're ready, free your hands if they're bound, halfway lift. Forward fold, flat back, around your way, see what feels good, all the way up. Hands to the heart. And just pausing for a moment. Reconnect to your intention. Kind of reset your mind if you've gone somewhere else, or if what is replaying in your mind isn't really helpful. So we go to our next little balance series. And so we're going to keep the right leg the base, and I'm going to have you just step the left toes back so that I'm kind of on that toenail side. So I can feel the length, and I'm going to hinge forward just a bit, and I might even bend the right knee. So you can get as much kind of length and stretch. So I'll give you the option to arms up, more challenging, hands at heart, or arms back, right? That's gonna be your choice for the arms. But take a moment to feel really strong through this right leg, and then it's nice and slow that we hinge, so that I can feel that I never lose the strength of my back leg, and I never lose the length of my torso. And I'm grounding to that right inner thigh line, and I'm lifting to that left inner thigh line, like the inseams of my pants are lifting. Keep your arms where they need to be, and you're going to take 5 breaths. And you're stopping wherever there's resistance in the body to go any lower. So it does not matter. Keep breathing. Keep feeling that levity of your pelvis, lifting and being buoyant through the strength of your core. You have 1 more breath. And then we're going to bend the right knee, just like we did before. We'll step that left leg back, but it's a straight leg. And I'm going to lift up and back. And if you need to adjust your stance, take the time so that both hip points face forward. Okay, both hip points. And I'm going to just take a moment to stand up nice and tall and press into my back leg. Maybe it's a slight little back arch. Then I'm going to lengthen my body as I come forward. And again, I'll stop where I need to, and then hands on blocks or hands on shin. You can come to a halfway lift if you prefer, or you can frame the right foot with your hands or on blocks. So for this pose, what I feel like tends to happen a lot is either we swing to the right, or we allow ourselves to kind of twist a bit in the spine. So see if you can really pull that outer right hip back and that belly up and over the thigh. So if I were to put like a glass on my low back, I would feel that it would somewhat level. It's where the block can be helpful. Make sure your back leg is just as active as your front leg. So there's this, in a sense, maybe scissoring the legs a part of it to allow me more space to lift up and over. Okay, take another deep breath. Then you're going to bend the right knee, and I have to adjust my stance again to come up warrior 1. Now you have lots of options for warrior 1. You can hook the thumbs. You can take the hands together, Vira Mudra. You can bring the hands down. You get to pick your type of warrior. Once again, although my pelvis does tip forward a bit in this shape because of the leg position, I want to still feel that lift up and out of the spine. So reaching from left pubic bone through left inner thigh to left heel to get my grounding. Lifting through the spine, that left inner thigh, chest, arm line. Take a deep breath in, send that front shin forward, breath out. 1 more time. And then the hands come down to the floor. We're going to come to plank pose today. Take a deep breath, tuck your chin in. Nice deep breath. We're going to come forward 10 times little baby push-ups. So exhale, plank. You can bring these down, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. You're almost there. So I'm showing you knees. Try and keep those elbows wrapped in. It's okay if it's just an inch. 4, 3, getting ready for our inversion. 2, all the way down. Take an extra pause in whatever back bend you choose to free the shoulders from your ears, to ground your legs, to lift that spine, and then downward facing dog or child's pose, where we'll meet for our breathing and holding. Breath in, breath out. Okay, take 1 more deep breath in. 1 more deep breath out. Step your right leg forward between your hands. Simple low lunge twist. So left hand goes on a block or the floor. I want you to again face down first, right arm out to the side, pull your navel back, and then twist your torso to open. If you want hand over head, you can. That for me, I feel a lot more lengthening from my right side waist, but the arm up gives you a nice chest. Keep your back thigh lifted. Keep your right sitting bone pulling towards your left heel. Find those inner thigh lines. Take another deep breath. And then hands to the floor, step and fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. All the way up to standing. And then hands to the heart. For the second side, reset. Maybe a couple deep breaths to ground and release. Then the right toes are gonna step back. And again, I'm gonna stay so strong. Because what we don't want is just to dump into the left leg and let this right leg be like a limp noodle. So as I lift up and I find that levity, I wanna find strength like an arrow going back into my right foot, and then I'm gonna slowly hinge. But as I hinge, I'm not dumping forward, I'm lifting out like towards the horizon. So slowly enter into warrior three. Remember, your arms can be forward, at your heart, or back. And if anyone's having tender knees, keep the knee a little soft, right? And that will help you utilize more strength. Your back hip point is facing down so that the inseams of your back inner thigh are lifting up. Super nice work. Nice, Dawn. Yeah, good. Nice work. Good work with the knees. Nice, Jen. Awesome. Yeah. Good steadiness. Guido and Kate. Yes, nice. Awesome, Kathleen, good turnout, yes. Good, James, straighten that back leg one little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you guys, awesome. Step the back leg back. And then again, I have to readjust my stance because I don't care for heel to arch or heel to heel. I like a wider stance because I want both those hip points forward. So it's okay to take extra time here. If you want your blocks, have them handy. Otherwise, sit up nice and tall. Maybe even the arms go up to help you lift. But I'm pushing down and apart with the legs. And then again, it's that hip hinge, just like warrior three. Keep as if someone's lifting or pulling your arms forward. At the last moment, we bow. And it's okay to have a rounded back here. But I want you to make sure that you can feel the left hip move back and the pelvis move slightly center before you bow. And then again, you can use your blocks. Yeah, good work. So James, you might want a little wider stance. It might help you. Yeah, there you go. Because I know you have a lot more flexibility. There you go. Nice. Yeah, that looks really good. Awesome. Yeah, good work, you guys. Nice work, Guido, pulling up and over. Keep letting your head go. Yeah, nice, James. There you went. Breathe. Feel that back leg charge up. The more your back leg charges up and the more you can feel your belly lift, the lighter you are on your pelvis. Okay, take one more deep breath. And then bend your left knee, probably have to adjust the stride longer, and we'll come into warrior one. Warrior one. So Jen, turn your right hip forward, so you're gonna more square off. Yep, so you might have to go wider with the stance still, but it might be more length between the front and the back. Yep, nice work, you guys. So yep, so your hip points are facing forward for warrior one. Okay, so if I have my hip points as headlights, they're forward, even though my pelvis does dip forward a bit because there's that internal rotation happening. So I lift up. Remember, any stance that you want. Nice deep breaths, you guys. Nice work. Can you feel that lift through your sideways, the side of your neck? Last two, can your front shin come forward without losing any of that length? That's like the balance here of how do I get lower and lower, lower without sacrificing any of the length. And then on the exhale, hands to the floor, plank pose. Holding your plank, and then we're just gonna tap the knees, lift the knees. You can do one at a time or you can do both. Okay, one at a time or both. And you have 5 more. Trying to keep the pelvis stable, trying to keep the strength in the upper half. This is just low core strengthening. 3, 2, plank, chaturanga, your back bend of choice. That can even be Sphinx pose. So keep, I know you guys know a lot of these shapes, so you can always just pull one in that you're interested in. And then we meet in down dog. Settle in. We're almost there. We'll take that left leg forward, and it's a simple low lunge twist. So I like a block. Before I twist though, I want to move that left outer hip crease back, pelvis slightly to the right, and I want to lengthen my body. And I want to keep the hips stable as I turn and twist so that my hips don't move with the twist, but it's more the core in my torso. Keep breathing, keep feeling that churning of the waist. Super nice work, you guys. One more. And then hands down, fold forward. Halfway lift, forward fold, all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart. Okay, right before we do our final little side and twist, we'll pick that right knee up and we'll go right ankle over left thigh. So once again, hip points level and make sure the hip on the left doesn't skirt to the left and we just hip hinge. I like kind of pushing my hips back and that helps me keep my spine long. Take 5 deep breaths and just kind of get a little bit more hip movement here. Standing figure 4, if you want to move your hands to your heart or even forward, feel free for the last. So if you want to stay challenged, unhook, come to chair, and then right away hook the other. If you need a little breather, stand up and rehook. Okay, so sitting down and back, hip points are level. It's okay if the knee's high. Totally fine if the knee's high. But sit on back, keep your spine long, pelvis tips forward. Super great steadiness, you guys. Look at all of you. No one's even moving. You guys are in it. Super nice. Right, good. Keep breathing. If you want to move your hands for the last few breaths. Really nice work. Okay, stand tall, unhook. Shake it out. Okay, so here's our last little bit. We're just going to do revolve triangle. That's all we're doing on each side. And just know that in the future, we'll be able to add on to this some, but we'll just practice it as it is. Arms sweep up, inhale. On the exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Step on back to a vinyasa if you want, or wade in down dog if you don't want to do that. Your choice. So just wading in down dog. Okay, as you're ready, we're going to lift that right leg up. Bend the knee, roll the hip just for a moment. Keep your shoulders strong. Just get that rotation and stretch from that right thigh. Step the right leg forward, warrior one style. And then come on up, warrior one for a moment. And then I'm going to straighten my right leg and readjust. So again, for this pose, I'm going to give you 2 options. One option is to lift the back heel and keep the pelvis completely square. And there's no rotation in the back leg. Option 2, it's more of a warrior one, kind of that Parsvottanasana, the pose we did after warrior 3. That's the other option. More challenging, of course. So the arms lift up. Okay, want to go nice and long. Strong legs, hitch, hip hinge. Stop where you need to stop. So I can either go here, hands to the heart, and you can do it this way today. Or if I want to come down to the floor, just notice that now I've rounded, so I'm going to need a block to come up to my fingertips. Just like we did in that low lunge, arm up to the side, get my legs dialed in, and then I twist. I can also twist hand to small the back, right? But I should feel that I'm not having my back turn. So either back heel lifted will help, or your back heel can be down. Super nice work, you guys. Yeah, awesome. Good steadiness. Now, can you lengthen? It's hard in these shapes sometimes to feel the lengthening. Nice, Kathleen. Yeah, can you lengthen your spine? Yes. And then can you ground through your legs on the exhale? You have 2 more breaths. Super nice work, you guys. Wow. Good, Kate, bring that right hip back 1 inch or like, yes, good, even more. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Awesome. Okay, you guys, and then hands to the floor. Bend that front knee. And then as you're ready, downward facing dog, you can do a cat-cow or vinyasa, or we'll go right into the last side. Left leg up, then the knee, roll the hip. Your choice. And then as you're ready, left leg forward, warrior one style or high lunge style. So I'm going to show you the high lunge style this time, just because sometimes with the pelvis and how our bodies are built, having that warrior one stride just does not feel good in the body. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to straighten this, both my legs, lift up, hip hinge. Then for me, I'm just going to bring my hand down to the block, and then that arm out to the sides. Looks the exact same, but for me, I get lots more freedom because I'm not having to bow the hips. So just a different shape. Left hip still moves back, right inner seam still lifts. but now I have the back heel lifted. So you can be working with either of those this series. So I want you to lift that front quadricep a bit so you can kind of lift and buoyant your spine. Really nice, Dawn. Yeah, good. Yes, good, Jen. So firm up your front leg, Jen, a little bit. Yeah, can you straighten it a little bit more or just lift more? Yes, there you go. Do you feel that? That was awesome. Very, very nice. Yes, good work, you guys. Good work. Yeah, good. 3 more breaths. 2. And hands down. Awesome work, you guys. Flow, cat, cow, down dog. You got it. Super nice work. Okay. You made it. Awesome. So we're going to go inversion. So you can either choose a lot of them because I'm going to teach a lot of them as we go. And so you can just pick one and your goal can be to do each one of them. And we're going to go for longer. So your goal is not just to like get up, but can you stay for longer? So we'll eventually get to time hold. So we'll go like 30 seconds, 45, and up to a minute, okay? So handstand is the one I'm going to choose today to show you because there's so many options for handstand. And if you have anything going on with your neck, the good thing is handstand doesn't prohibit you. So there's lots of ways to get in, and my favorite easy way is either from a standing L, which is like hands here. So I'm in a standing L, which means I have 1 foot on the floor and 1 foot on the wall. And then I can just sweep this leg up, and I'm in a 1-leg handstand. So this one is not quite as challenging, but the good thing is I can still feel all the elements. It's less weight on your hands. Okay, so that's one way. Foot on the floor, foot on the wall, push into the wall and sweep your standing leg up. The second option is to come towards a down dog with your heels on the baseboard of your wall. And I walk up to whatever degree I want. Doesn't have to be vertical. So you see I'm not vertical and this is less weight bearing. So that's another way. Okay, third way that you might have seen is to kick up from down dog facing the other way. And this one's more challenging. But again, it's just like the 3-limb down dog. So we'll work on this one more, but this one is what we'd be going for. But it's a little bit scarier because I have to kick up. So you're going to choose one of those or something else. If you don't feel like handstand today, gang, down dog at the wall works. Yeah, good job, you guys. That was it, Jen. Yeah, that was it. Something else works. But I'm just going to give you a minute to come up or down. You're choosing. Up or down. Nice headstand, James. Super nice work with your shoulders. Awesome. Very nice, Dawn. Dawn, can you bring your tailbone forward? Firm your front ribs in. Yes, like that. Just like that. Good. That was it. Good work. Yes, you got it, Jen. Yes, good, good. Straighten that top leg, Jen. Heel to the sky. Yes, there you go. Good work, you guys. You're almost there. You have about 10 more seconds. So if you're doing both legs or you're doing one leg, you could try the other leg. Make sure you're breathing. This one is a very energy invoking pose, so sometimes it can be intense. Come on down. Nice work, you guys. Either sit on your heels, because I don't generally like child's pose right after handstand. If you're in headstand, that might feel okay, but just sit for a moment. That was awesome. Yeah. And just take it in. Just kind of letting all that energy that's been generated, kind of absorbing it, and even send it somewhere in your body. This is your vital energy, right? Your life force, that heat. So if you have a sore back or shoulder or knee, send that energy there. Send it out if you're sending it to someone else. If your practice today was in devotion or honor of someone. Okay, another deep breath in. Another deep breath out. Nice work, you guys. Okay, come to a seat. So just one time for Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet can be together. And again, we can sit up tall or hinge. Again, I showed you on last week, you could have your feet up This gives you a different sensation, spine long. Or you could put the block between you for 5 breaths and then remove the block, and this is going to train those muscles to engage before they release. So we're going to take 10 breaths here before we do some good pranayama to finish it off. So take some nice deep breaths. If you're pressing into the block, it's just the outer seam of your feet that press. It's not the inner seam, and it can be as wide as you want. Spine is long on the inhale, and on the exhale, you're feeling those sitting bones draw towards one another. And then if you have the block, remove it and just notice what it's like now to put your feet together. When I notice is there's more ease in me maybe folding forward or trying something else. And then as you're folding, in whatever degree you're folding, let the head go. Nice, slowly come up, send the legs forward. For neutral, shake them out. If you want a little bit of fold just to re-neutralize, do that. And then cross your legs and come to a comfortable position. And if you want to sit on something, that's perfectly fine. If like a blanket's handy. So we're going to do some breath work to calm the nervous system and allow you to kind of bring in more optimism and hope. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use your right hand to plug off the right side of your nostril, and you're just going to breathe in and out through your left. So just breathing in and out through the left. So this is the cooling channel of the body. It's the relaxing channel. Your left thumb and index finger can touch. So as you're doing this, making that intention to relax and calm the mind. So that all day our minds aren't racing from thought to thought, from thing to thing. That we have more space between the thoughts, more expansive thoughts, more ability to witness the thoughts, and disrupt unhelpful thoughts. So 5 more breaths in this left lunar channel. This is a good one to do anytime you feel your mind's racing. And you just need to slow it down and relax. Nice long deep breaths as you inhale, your spine get long. And as you exhale, sink into those sitting bones. Okay, you're now going to fold back your fingers so that just your ring finger can plug your left side, and we're just going to breathe in and out through our right side. So I'm just using my ring finger, all the other fingers are folded back, and I'm just going to breathe in through the right, out through the left. So this is the solar channel, known for bringing vitality in. This is a good breath to do if you need some energy, if you want to bring in more optimism. To stoke your vitality. So as you're breathing in and out through this channel, just kind of imagining enlivening yourself to find that kind of optimism that's infectious, that inspires others, that has that warming, heartfelt effect. And then 2 more breaths in this channel. And so now you're going to remove that. So now you're going to fold back your index and your middle finger to the base of your thumb, and we're going to breathe in left, breathe out right. Just breathing in left, breathing out right. That's all we're doing, breathing in left, breathing out right. So think about this as dissipating any extra energy of, just kind of like when we get too riled up and we can't calm down. Just kind of think about this as diffusing anything excess. For the last 10, if you want to go fast, you can inhale left, forcefully breath of fire, exhale right. Otherwise, keep it slow. Now breathe in just through your left and hold. Release your hand down, hold your breath for 10 seconds. And then let it out. Just notice any effects in your brain. And then the last cycle of breath is we're going to breathe in right. Breathe out left. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. Now you can go fast the whole time if you want to breathe in right and then force it out left with a little bit of belly pump. You can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. Breathe in left. Hold your breath for 10 seconds. Relax your hands, sit up nice and tall. Feel a lift from your sitting bones all the way up your spine like an elevator lifting. And then let it go. Take just a breath or two to notice what effects that pranayama practice, that breath practice had on your body, on your nervous system, on your thoughts, the way you think. And when you feel kind of like you've gotten an imprint of that, right? Because when we change our frequency, like if we stay long enough, we can create kind of like a muscle memory in that more maybe relaxed or spacious frequency. And since frequency holds information, right? We might have access to higher aspects of creativity and skillfulness within our mind and our wisdom. So we want to always give it just a minute for any of that to come through, to kind of permeate more. When you feel ready, lie onto your back. And then feel free to take any finishing shape. So if that's like a twist, if you want another twist or a happy baby or a bridge, feel free to take any of those shapes that feel good. And feel free just to lie on your back and just take it in. You did a lot of shapes, you did a lot of moving of energy. And so again, this is what we want to stabilize, is this new kind of energy that you brought in, this vital, relaxed, calm, grounded energy. We want to give it a chance to kind of like permeate your awareness and your muscle kind of memory so that you can access this when you need to. So when you feel yourself getting elevated or feel yourself getting stressed or maybe depressed, that you go, oh yeah, I remember I have access to other states as well that resource me. So just taking a moment to move through whatever shapes you need and then just lying still and just allowing your body to integrate this new found vitality. Imagining every cell kind of reprogramming itself to go, oh, wow, there's new ways to be healthy and alive. As we do this, it has profound effects on our immunity as well. Let everything in your body start to relax, from your eyes, your jaw, your ears, your neck, your chest, your abdomen, your arms, the hips, the legs, the knees, feet. Everything relax and gets more spacious. You feel that heat and that energy that you built just spreading out, nourishing your body. With every breath, you're reinvigorating, revitalizing, rejuvenating yourself. And from that uniform, relaxed, spacious, and expansive state, just bringing in to your day what it is that you want to bring forward into this holiday weekend. Maybe it's more patience or more joy or more gratitude. Just thinking that in this elevated state where you have access to your potent creative potential to direct your life force, to call in. So use this energy to call in whatever it is that you want to bring into this weekend. Whatever it is that will allow you to feel in greater peace and harmony and alignment with the real, more authentic, truthful you. So just send that intention out to your cells, out to the space around your body, within your body. And then as you're ready, you can move and wiggle your fingers and toes if you feel like moving again, but if you feel like staying on your back, just keep lingering. Roll to your side for an extra couple breaths. And then slowly letting your head be last, move your way up nice and slowly to a seat. Rub those hands together. And then let one hand come to your heart and one hand come to your head, and feel the energy, the vitality of your life force, synergizing between mind and heart, throat. And then bring your hands to touch, thumbs touch at the heart, not bow towards your practice, bow towards the energy you created and that which you have sent out through your intention, what you're calling in. And I send out my tremendous gratitude and appreciation and love to each one of you for being such an important part of my life and such an important and vital part of my resources and support. So thank you for what you do to fortify me. Thank you for what you do to build and increase my joy. So I am so grateful to each one of you for your presence, for your commitment, and the role that you play in this circle of community, which is so healing and therapeutic to my soul. So thank you each. I hope you have such an amazing holiday, and I look forward to seeing you Saturday morning. Namaste.